there's a bunch of pressure facts that I bet you didn't know about. From ultra rare entities to some useful tricks that can help you to generally really crazy stuff about the game. Here in this video, I'm gonna be exposing 15 hidden pressure secrets that you might not know about. Also, at 20,000 subscribers, I'm gonna give away 2,000 Robux. So consider subscribing. It's free and it also means a lot. Anyways, let's get into the video. Number 1. Did you know that there's actually monsters that can help you? As strange as it is, there's actually monsters that can help you and or some cases actually save you. And one of them you guys may already know is called the limited time imaginary friend. When playing on your solo runs, you can feel a bit lonely sometimes, but finding this remote and spawning this little guy, he will be your friend throughout the whole game. Some people might find it creepy, but there are also some people that find it comforting in having someone else being with you. So how do you get him? There's a random chance that this remote will spawn in any room. It could even spawn in the first room. And when you manage to find this remote and spawn him, he will start saying random things throughout the entire game until you die. So I guess this one is true since it could help. Now, there's actually another monster that could help you, and its name is Mr. Lope. Mr. Lope looks like a black and green figure with an open suit. He only appears in multiplayer runs, which he will attack a player if the player is left way behind. But did you know that there's actually a good side to him? If you got a random chance that you would fall into a void, or if room generation fails, Mr. Lope would actually pick you up and then put you back into the game, which there you can continue your run again, almost like Lakitu from Mario Kart. Number 2. Since we're on the topic of monsters, did you know that there's 3 ultra rare monsters that could spawn that you probably never seen before? One of them is called the multi-monster. It looks like a really heavily distorted face that has been cut up. Its attack is when it rushes down the hallways incredibly quick, instantly killing the player. Important things to note is that this monster is extremely fast with no warning sounds. Players basically only have 3 seconds to react after the multi-monster warning appears. For it being extremely rare, it also only spawns after room 50. Also, if you die by it, this monster gives you a unique death screen. Rather jump scaring the player, it will actually talk to them. This monster is a direct reference to Rooms, where there's a monster that's called A60 that looks exactly like it. The game Rooms is also the main inspiration for doors and pressure. The second monster is called the Educator, and it looks awfully similar to this other guy. Its most noticeable difference is that its face is frowning. It was notorious for spawning during the April Fool's event. It will appear when you press the evil button. Then it will start chasing the player every time it slaps its ruler. If you get caught by it, it will instantly kill you. When he spawns, you will be in this schoolhouse where you have to find and solve all the math problems in the notebooks in order to collect them. And once they have all been collected, the exit in the schoolhouse will open. Funny thing about this guy is that he's actually part of the lore, considering he has his own document.
Yeah, he won't let me show you that. Need to leave you in the dark for this one. Sorry.
And this last monster is a monster most of you guys have not seen. And it's because it's an admin exclusive monster, known as the Death Angel. The appearance of it is almost like a black skull with sharp teeth and empty eye sockets. Being an admin only monster, it will not spawn under normal circumstances. And when it does spawn, it's almost like Pandemonium, where if you get caught by it while in a hiding spot, you will play this mini game. Except the mini game is gonna be forever. But there's actually a chance to survive by it, and the only way is to stay out of its line sight and wait for it to leave.
Oh my god, it is a Death Angel. Wait, I'm good. Did I just... Oh my god, I'm the best player in this game.
Now, the third pressure secret is something I don't see a lot of people doing. And it's a trick where you look up and down on an object and it will eventually boost you on top of that object. It's a pretty cool trick where you can make a few shortcuts. Now, the fourth pressure secret, it has to do with rare items. Now, did you know that there's actually 4 rare items in pressure? Now, the most notable one is the Necrobloxican. It's actually a type of light source emitting a vibrant neon light. Players can also change the color of the Necrobloxican by interacting with it. While it's on, it can actually lose its battery charge and run out. But the charge can be refilled if you find batteries around the site. You can have this book by its extremely rare chance of it spawning in the Hadal Black site. It can also be bought from the pre-round shop if you got the achievement, Got the Worm, or if you're extremely lucky, it could actually spawn in Sebastian's shop, or you can gamble for it. The next rare item is something you guys might not know of, and it's called the Gummy Flashlight. Similar to a flashlight, it emits a green light in front of the player, but except it doesn't recharge using batteries, and instead it must be recharged by repeatedly shaking the gummy light by right-clicking. You can actually find this item in the Hadal Black site, but it has a rare chance of spawning. But it can also be bought by the pre-round shop for 200 kroner if the player has the High Again achievement. Or, if you're lucky, it could spawn in Sebastian's shop and it can be bought for 300 points. Now, the third item is extremely rare and it's called the Notebook. It was only obtainable through the 2024 April Fool's event, and if you played in that event, you can purchase this book at the pre-round shop for 175 kroner. Using the notebook, the player will be frozen in place and prompted 3 randomized math questions, and after getting all 3 right, you get a chance of getting any of these items. Now, the last item is the most rarest item in the game, and it's called the Splorge Light. This item is very similar to the gummy flashlight, except it does not anger squiddles. And as of now, you can only get this item if you have the notebook. Now, at number 5, we have Ice Festation. It's a shark with multiple eyes that are green, and this monster has a random chance of spawning with rooms that have windows that are facing the ocean. But something that less of you guys know is that it could actually have different colors. When you have the flash beacon equipped and then using it against the Ice Festation, it could actually turn red, making it angrier and also cause more damage. But something less of you guys know is that if you flash it again, it could actually turn purple. But it also makes it angrier and kill you faster. Number 6. Did you know that some items are unavailable until a player unlocks a specific achievement? The most common one is Uneasy Alliance, which is the achievement you get when you meet Sebastian in his shop. Getting this achievement will give you the lantern and it will be available in the Dead Drop shop. But did you know that there's actually rare items you can get from these achievements that you might not know of? So if you beat the game, you get the hand-cranked flashlight, or if you beat the ridge without picking up any light source, you'll get the black light. But let's get something even more rare, like surviving the multi-monster, you'll get a gummy light. And of course, beating the ridge on a solo run without entering a locker, you'll get a clown jumpsuit, which I think is pretty cool. Number 7. Did you know that there's a secret where you can actually die to special monsters? There are 4 of them, and one of them is Mr. Lope, which if you decide to stay behind while your teammates are going out, Mr. Lope will kill you and the Overseer will give you a special comment. The second monster that's considered a special death is actually called A60, or the multi-monster, and the Overseer comment will be a little bit eerie, stating that a specialized team will specifically get A60 back into containment. The third special monster death is actually the most popular one, and it's when you flash Sebastian Salas, you actually get executed by him. And the Overseer will leave this comment, which I think is pretty funny. And the last one is if you die by the Educator, which I'm pretty sure you guys all know is the April Fool's event.
You won't let me show you that.
Number 8. Did you know that there's a secret area in Pressure where you can actually gamble your money? And it's actually called the gambling room. And inside this room, you'll see a dealer at a neon purple table hosting a loot box game that can be played for 35 research points. This is also one of the 2 places where you can find the really rare item, Party Special, and the Necrobloxican. Playing the loot box game on the table, you get one of the 4 items presented. And obviously, the 2 rarest ones are the Necrobloxican and the Party Special. So if you find this, I wish you luck. Number 9. Did you know that you can actually beat Pressure without hiding in any locker? You can avoid monsters like the Angler by hiding in spots like this and this. There's obviously more spots throughout the map, which I suggest watching this YouTube video by Smiling Figure, which he beat Pressure without hiding in any locker. Number 10. You may have noticed that I talked about the clown jumpsuit, but did you know that there's actually other special jumpsuits that you can get? For an example, the Angler jumpsuit, which you can get the jumpsuit by surviving the Angler, which allows you to get this achievement. But let's get into something more rarer, like the Pandemonium jumpsuit, which you can get by surviving the encounter with Pandemonium. There's also a unique one where you can get Sebastian's outfit by purchasing every item in his shop. But of course, the 2 rarest jumpsuits is the Ink suit and the Clown jumpsuit. You get the Ink jumpsuit by beating the game in under 45 minutes, and you can get the Clown jumpsuit by not hiding in any locker. Did you know that there's a secret game mechanic that not many people know? And it's called Anticipation, and this game mechanic occurs at the start of a player's run. During this phase, one of 4 soundtracks will play continuously until the player encounters a node monster, usually an Angler. And when the monster spawns, a quote will appear above your items, prompting the player to hide. After the monster passes, the soundtrack disappears, and the anticipation mechanic ends. Normally during anticipation, only these monsters spawn, puddles of void, squiddles, node monsters, infestations, and good people. Number 12. Unattainable achievements. Did you know that there's 4 badges that you can't even get anymore? One of them is called the early birds. You get it by joining the game during the testing phases, which is pretty easy. The next badge is got the worm. And if you have this, that's pretty impressive because that means you beat the game before the game was fully released. And the next one that has to do with the educator, and it's called not very studious. And you get this badge by getting all the notebooks incorrect and then beating the game. And the next badge is called grade A student, which is the same objective as not very studious, except you passed all the notebooks correctly. Did you know that there's 21 Easter egg locations where other games are referenced in Pressure? One of them was a giant seek eye, which is a reference to doors, some rooms that look like the back rooms. There's also the hallway from Identity Fraud. There's also way more, but my favorite has to be the Theorist room from The Game Theory. And since we're talking about Easter eggs, there's also some visual Easter eggs, like this padlock door, which is a reference to doors again. Or of course, Seek, which as you can see he's wearing a suit, or this boogie bomb, which I thought was pretty funny. The physics gun from Gary's mod, or the Sting from Five Nights at Freddy's, or even Slenderman. There's also a lot more which you guys could try to find. Number 14. Did you know that there's some secrets about Sebastian that you might not know of? Like how he was supposed to wear a mask, or how he has a wife that is one of the game developers of this game, and how he was falsely accused of murder, which is why he was experimented on and was turned into a fish. Number 15. Did you know that the Hadao Black Site was constructed in 1974? It was Urban Shade's Research and Containment Center, which was breached by Sebastian Solis, leading to numerous monsters roaming the halls, which leads you to current day, where you play as an expendable prisoner, tasked to explore in exchange for your freedom. Not really a secret, but pretty cool fact. Now, you just learned 15 secrets that probably no one has told you in under 15 minutes. But wait, there's one more. And that is, you should subscribe. It helps out a lot, and I'm almost at 20k, so subscribing will help out a ton. And also, join the Discord. As always, everything will be okay.